Entrepreneurs, business owners, and even my pastors, I got a question for you. You've already started the business, you've already started the ministry, and things are going okay, but it's not growing. There are two things that you need to know in order to make that happen, and I'm going to share that with you on today's episode of Bootstrapping Business and Ministry. What's going on, everybody? Glenn P. Brooks Jr. here, back with you for another edition of Bootstrapping Business and Ministry. And I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I discovered probably 4.5 to 5 years ago at this point. I ran across a social media influencer that really changed my life in terms of my perspective on the two things that you absolutely are going to need to know in order to scale your business. Take a listen to this really quickly, and we're going to come back on the back end, and I'm going to show you how I took the principle that he's using and I made it work for our business. And today, as a result, we're profitable. This works in business or ministry. Just take a look at this and we'll be right back.
Listen, I get paid $150,000 to give one speech. Right?
And I lose my mind.
and guess what? I lose my mind. And at first, and there's been times where I'm like, man, that's insane. That's more money than I made in the first 4 years of my career. You know?
Yeah.
But the reality is I've learned, because this is how it works, that's because the venue and the promoters make that money back and then some, because I've worked my face off for my whole life to have an audience that converts when I speak on stage.
Right.
You know, people like athletes make too much. No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They've worked super hard, and people watch it, and then brands pay for it, and tickets sell because of it. They're making too little. They're making too little.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about you right now. Like, you've worked your whole life to be creative. You are naturally creative.
So guys, you just got finished checking out Gary Vaynerchuk, and he is an amazing social media influencer. One of the things that I learned just by watching Gary was the importance of two principles that you absolutely need to master in order to scale your business. And let me say this, even as he was working with this young lady, he was doing the principle that I'm going to talk about. And so there are two things that you absolutely need to know. I learned these things quite a few years ago. And as a result of that, our business is not only profitable, but we're making more even in this pandemic scenario, because I've been able to master these two things. And so what am I talking about? Number one, and I want you to go ahead and write this down, I'm talking about hunting and farming. Write that down, hunting and farming. We're gonna talk a little bit about what I mean when I say hunting. Hunting, so that you understand, is the idea of showing up so that you can discover what you need in order to be able to sustain or build your business. You need new business, you need new people. Even if you're a church, you need people to come to the church in order for it to grow. If you're a small business, you need people to buy or to participate in your products and services in order for you to scale that business and grow. Well, in order to do that, you have to become a hunter. Now, let me just say this so that everybody is clear. Most of us are one or the other naturally. Most of us are either naturally a hunter or naturally a farmer. Hunters generally are extroverted. Farmers generally are introverted, generally. I'm not going to say that across the board, because my natural bent is a farmer, but I'm highly extroverted. But the challenge is that in order to be a proper hunter, you have to be able to think through the idea of getting up and going after whatever it is that you're looking for every single day. And hunters generally hunt because they're hungry. You get what I'm saying? They absolutely are hungry. They've got mouths to feed. They got bills to pay. And that's generally the driving force for a hunter. However, a farmer is more of a nurturer. That's who I am naturally. Generally speaking, that's not an extrovert. But in my case, because my extroverted animal, or if you ever took the DISC assessment, I'm a high I. We call that the flamingo. I am a people person. And that's what is critical for farmers to be able to do what they do. So let's go into this really quickly. So when I say hunting, one of the things that you're going to have to do if you're going to grow your business is you're going to have to get social. That is a technique that you want to do to be able to show up and hunt. You're looking for the person that you want to do business with. After you've gotten crystal clear on who your target audience is, who your target clients are, because they're two different people, you want to go on a hunting expedition. One of the easiest and most inexpensive ways to do that is on social media. Gary Vee just showed you that simply by allowing this young lady on his platform. She was able to be nurtured by him, but at the same time, he is there hunting because there are going to be people that will discover him because he's out and about doing what he does best. So we're talking about getting social. Another thing is, and this is just one of many techniques, in order to do that, you go live. You're going to have to show up in order to be able to find that what you're looking for. And when you do show up, what I want you to learn how to do is speak to people's pain. Here's the challenge. Most people are coming on to social media because they want to sell something. When you show up on social media to be able to speak to the pain that other people are going through, I promise you there is this natural thing that happens where they'll just gravitate toward you and they'll just come to you as opposed to you having to run them down. The other thing I want you to do, so that's hunting. The other thing I want you to recognize is the technique or the strategy or what you have to master concerning farming. In order to farm properly, you have to first of all capture the information of the person you're talking to. What kind of systems do you have set up that when you do go live or you do get social, you're able to capture their information? Is it an email system? Is it some kind of funnel that brings them into some kind of content relationship management system? How do you capture their information? When you learn how to do that properly, I promise you, you'll have them in a place where you can take them offline. When I say take them offline, guys, what I'm really talking about is you meet them socially online, but once you get to know them, you invite them back to your office or you invite them back to a place where you guys can sit and talk. Have you ever gone to a lounge and maybe you are trying to, maybe it's a mixer, it's a networking event, right? And everybody is gathering and everybody is talking and there's a whole bunch of crowds, but then you find a person that you connect with and there's some business that you want to talk about. Are you going to talk about that while it's loud and everybody's doing a whole bunch of things? No, you're going to say, hey, can we go and grab a table and can we sit down and chop it up? That's what you're going to do. That's what I mean when you take them offline. There are a bunch of ways that you can take people offline. One of the ways that I do it is I do it through my Zoom rooms. Because I'm a relationship development specialist, I coach people both in the personal and professional development space. All of the coaching that I do takes place offline. Now, I'm telling you right now, that is a way for me to nurture people. And if you're going to farm properly, you're going to have to understand the concept of nurturing. The last thing that you want to do when you're offline with people is you want to answer their questions. Let me say this so that y'all are super clear. When you are in a nurturing environment, when you're in an environment where it lends itself to not only talking about what someone's going through, but it allows you to be in a room long enough to be able to answer their questions, here's what magically takes place. It's called a transformation. When a person begins to know, like, and trust you, and they feel like you've answered all their questions, the next step for them is a natural one. They want more of what it is that you do. They want to come to your church more often. They want to get involved in the small groups. They may want to sing on the choir. They may want to get involved in the outreach ministry. If it's a business, at this particular point now, they're interested in how and what your products and services are. For me, I have several different products. I'm an author, right? At that particular point now, they're interested in one of the 6 books that I've written. Imagine that. I never talked to them about that. But because this information that I'm sharing, because of the questions that I'm answering are so profound for them, what they're asking is a simple question: where can I get more? Oh, well, the answers that you're talking about are in my book, Managing Students Through Relationships, Not Rules. Oh my God, you wrote a book? Tell me more. Well, I think I will. Do you see how that goes, guys? When you understand this and you become really, really, really proficient at 2 things, and you have to master them, guys. It's called hunting and farming. At that particular point, you will not only attract new business and be able to get people to do business with you, but then the good news is that you'll keep them for a very long time. We have membership programs that people stay in our membership programs on average 9 months to a year. That's a long time to have one person paying a monthly subscription fee. Why? because they feel nurtured. They are nurtured. It is a community where there are all kinds of development taking place in the community. And once a person feels like they are a part of your tribe, this is when they become raving fans. And at the end of the day, here's what I'm gonna promise you that's gonna build your business quicker than anything else. It's not the products and services that you sell. It's not my books. It's not my speaking. It's not even my coaching. You know what it is? It's the fact that their lives have been transformed by something. And at the end of the day, they feel like they cannot live without that transformation. Because here's what I know to be true. If you're gonna get to any place of significance, you cannot do that by yourself. We all need some help. I hope this has helped you. And at the end of the day, we're here every Wednesday. We'll see you back next week. Guys, if this message has helped you in any kind of way, I'm gonna ask you to do me two favors. One, I want you to like or subscribe to the page, and then I want you to share this out to somebody and let them know that we're here each and every Wednesday. Ring that bell, I'm sorry, it's a third thing. Ring the bell so that when you subscribe, you're there every time we go live. You know when we drop new content, because at the end of the day, here's what I know to be true. We all need some help. Y'all be good, and we'll talk soon.